welcome back to Dust Euphoria. Today we've got a fun video that I'm really excited about. If you watched our last video, it was a haul from the thrift store bins, which is kind of the last stop for items that are donated before they get thrown in the trash. And in that haul, I was lucky enough to find 17 wonderful little toy figures from an Activision game called Skylanders. Now, I didn't know anything about the game, and as I stated in the haul video, I didn't want to find out anything about them before sharing them with you, so I could just talk about them with no context whatsoever, simply as a fan of the figures themselves, because they're really spectacular. The design of the characters and the quality of the toys themselves are just amazing, and I fell in love with them immediately. I'm going to insert a clip from the haul video so you can get sort of a taste of what that was like, having me react at length to each of the figures one at a time for the very first time. Okay, these are a series of figures, and this is the first one that I saw in the bin. He's got this tree motif going on. You can see the little rings, like, you know, if you had cut a stump or whatever. And he's got the big one on his back, one on his arm. But it's very dense. It's made of different materials. It's got all these great colors. The texturing is great, very detailed. He's got that face. He's got these great antlers up here. And then it's an Activision brand, and you can tell, you may not be able to tell from the video, but it appears as though there's some sort of electrical element involved. I'm not sure. Maybe it lights up. But anyways, I saw this guy and I grabbed him, and he was awesome. I was like, this is really nice. I don't know what it is, but he's cool. And then I ran across a full bag of more from the same line of figures, and they're so diverse and so amazing. In the process of researching Skylanders, I ran across several YouTube videos, one of which was by Crypt Crusher, and it ranked all 167 characters in the Skylanders universe from worst to best. Now, that video was based mainly on the gameplay, you know, what they did in the game and that sort of stuff. Now, it also had some elements of, you know, what he liked about what the character looked like, or the weapons that it had and that sort of thing. But essentially it was based on the gameplay. I watched a portion of the video because I was curious to see what the highest rated character was out of the 17 figures that I got in the haul. Unfortunately, I didn't get any in the top 20, and the highest ranking one I had was the Pop Fizz character that came in number 24 on Crypt Crusher's list. After watching the Crypt Crusher video, I was inspired to do my own rankings of the 17 figures that I found, but unlike his rankings, mine would have absolutely nothing to do with gameplay or what these characters are in the Skylanders universe. It would solely be based on the figures themselves. I was so excited about doing this rankings reveal that I created a set just for the video. Now, the set is made almost entirely of Dust Euphoria items that we found at either thrift stores or in the thrift store bins. The only exception would be the paper that's along the bottom that sort of looks like the land that comprises the faux island under the numbers there. In the background is a segment of a tapestry that features Van Gogh's Starry Night that we picked up in the bins. And then, you know, you will see the letter blocks that I'm so fond of with all the numbers, or most of the numbers. And the rest of the numbers are comprised of these little wooden blocks that I got from a game. I'm not even sure what the game is or if it's just an educational tool. So, yeah, I think we're all set. Are you guys ready for the reveal? Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of a surprise. There's actually not 17 figures. We've got 19. If you watch the original video, you'll know that in addition to the 17 figures, full figures, to give something away, there were also 2 that just came with a base. And so we're going to put them in at 19 and 18. Coming in at number 19 is just the bottom for Blast Zone. Yep, it's got black legs and some little fire going on underneath. If you watched our previous video, you'll know that I actually had the firecracking top on this base, and that was an error. Thankfully, I also had the firecracking base, and so I was able to match that up correctly. So we'll put him in at number 19. And coming in at number 18 is just the base for Washbuckler. This one's really awesome. You know, it might have had a chance of actually beating out a couple of the full figures because the tentacles are so awesome. But yeah, So there's that one. Okay, now we're actually getting into the real list here. All right, our first full figure entry in the rankings is number 17, Eruptor. I think this is Eruptor Light Core. When I looked them up, that's what it looked like. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think there's various versions of multiple figures, and this is the Light Core version. Now he's coming in 17th simply because the figure itself isn't that complicated. I mean, it does have a couple of different plastics. I think his teeth, or the inside of his mouth is a little different. But the painting's very, it's real subtle. It's just not super exciting or super dynamic like a lot of the other figures. But I still love him. All right. Get him there. Number 17. Let's turn him a little bit. Number 16 has already been name dropped in this video. That's Firecracken. The Firecracken, just like all the other figures, is really awesome. He's just a snake guy on the flames. But for some reason, I just didn't really care for the colors. I'm not a huge fan. Plus, I may have been jaded by the fact that I thought that was the actual character. Can you see why I made that mistake? Anyways. Number 16. Firecracken. Let's see. Number 15 is Gorilla Drilla. I remember when I was showing him off in the haul video, I mentioned that it looked like he had like a tornado, and I just wasn't thinking correctly, because he's got this mining theme going on. He's got the gold, and that's clearly a drill, I would assume. So, but he's pretty awesome. He's I didn't realize when I did the first video that he is a gorilla, and this is just all these cool features. They've got the sort of the drill motif going on here. And just looks really awesome. It's a really nice gold color. Number 15. And right behind Gorilla Drilla is our first dragon entry on the list. Cinder. Really pretty. These figures are so neat. And I love all the ones that come on the little skulls. Yeah, I love all the details in her. Everything's so great. The scales, the wings. She's got these spiked bands of metal around her neck and her two front legs, silver claws. Really awesome. Just in front of Cinder on the list at number 13 is Jetvac. And you may recall when I did the haul video that I wasn't sure about the weapon, whether it was whether the container in the back had something that came out of the weapon, or if the weapon was sucking things in that went into the container. Now I'm guessing from the name, Jetvac, that it's actually a suction device. And also something I didn't notice when I did the previous haul video, as you can see there's a little spiral inside the container. So detailed, so amazing. Neat little guy. Get him in here. Let's see, let's make sure we keep as many of the upcoming numbers revealed as possible. Yeah, there's number 8. If we can get 7 on the screen a little bit, so you'll know when that's coming. All right. And let's see, number 12. This is Rattleshake. Look at that. He's so amazing. He's a snake, and he's got a snake weapon. He's got the cowboy hat with the feathers. It's all painted. So elaborate. The colors are great. He's on the skull. Looking awesome. I mentioned in the haul video he reminded me of the animated lizard western character, and I couldn't remember his name, but I believe his name is Rango. So put him in here. All right, we're moving up to the next tier with number 11, and that's going to be Starstrike. The hooded figure. I love it, all the shades of the purple, the black, and the blue. So great. And then the weapons are really neat too. The aesthetics and the gold tips. Really cool character design. Fun, spooky, and it just seems really dangerous and deadly. Number 10 is the character that inspired the whole Skylanders universe. This is Spyro. Actually, this is Mega Ram Spyro. I don't know much about it other than it looks a lot different than the regular Spyro figure from the Skylanders game. So I assume this is a different version, evolved form, distant cousin, alternate universe version. But he's really awesome. The gold horns and the wings and all the detailing, that big spiky tail. He just looks awesome. He's definitely the cutest so far in the rankings, even though he does look like a kind of cuteness you don't want to mess with. At number 9, we have Warnado. Really vicious looking little turtle. Perhaps the most Pokemon-ish of the ones so far. Kind of looks like a baby Lapras with spikes. Got big ears too. But I love this shell is transparent. It's got this thin paint on it, as I said in the haul video. He just looks really great. It's so much fun. At number 8 is Night Shift. And he ranks so highly because of this. I love the transparent features in his legs. You know, everywhere he doesn't have clothes or gloves, including his tentacles and his arms. He's got a little couple tentacles too. And he's got a great expression. He might be number 1 as far as the figure. I'd be most curious to see what actor they got to voice him in the movie. At number 7, we have the first figure from the Giants series, which, I mean, I didn't look too much into it, but the 3 that I got from this series are all, as you might imagine, much larger than the other ones. And so they're able to get a lot more detail, just a lot more going on, which in this case is a good thing because these toy designers are so fantastic. I just want them to do more and more and more. But, you know, the transparent wings, it's got the antenna. Looks really cool. I love his eyes. I wish I could get the translucence caught, but it's kind of difficult to see it on the camera. Just a great figure. He kind of looks like a Pokemon too, but that is not a bad thing. So great. Get him up there. And we'll follow that up with one of the figures that literally makes me laugh out loud every time I look at him. This is Trigger Happy. He's got the Gatling gun that looks like it shoots coins. I haven't looked that up to confirm it or not. But lordy, look, he's like licking his weapon. I don't know what's going on there. But he is wild and fun. I love him. Get him up there beside the giant. See if we can get it aimed at the camera. Yeah. Okay, we're moving up to the top tier now with number 5, and that's going to be Flashwing. This figure is just astonishing. I love the transparent crystal wings. The whole idea that a flying creature would have wings made out of crystals is so absurd, but it's just it's wonderful. And then they've got the crystals in the base, and looks kind of majestic. Really great. The crystals looks like a geode on the back of her head. Crystal claws. And then that great metallic blue. Really awesome. Top 5. Oh, I should mention that this Flashwing, it said when I looked at the photo that it's a Flashwing Light Core. So I'm guessing that's not the original Flashwing figure. Let's see, coming in at number 4, we have Fright Rider. And it's got that spooky elf aesthetic. And this one kind of had an unfair advantage because I feel like it's 2 characters. I like them both. I think I like his little steed even more than him. But regardless, the combination is great, and it's got the bonus of being on the skull, which is I love that. So straighten out his spear a little bit. Yeah. Get him up there. Okay, number 3 was the first one I pulled out of the bin. Really blew my mind, but this was before I found all the rest of them together. And it's the second Giants entry on our list, and it is Tree Rex. This is so amazing. I really, when I pulled this out of the bin, I just couldn't believe the quality of it. I didn't know what I was looking at because I'd never heard of this before. And he's so heavy and dense, and the detailing is just amazing. And you know, because he's the Giants, he's much bigger than the others. So it's a much more impressive on first glance. So yeah, Tree Rex. Look at there. Coming in at number 3. All right, we're up to the top 2, y'all. If you saw the haul video, you might have a good idea of the top 2, but you probably don't know who came in first because it was a close race. But in the end, I had to make a decision, and I did. Coming in at number 2, Pop Fizz. Yes, yeah, he's so awesome. I love him so much. I don't know nothing about him in the game, but he's great. And these characters, these little figures are amazing. He's got that bag with the glass bottles in the back. He's got that flask up there, like I said in the previous video. I don't know what's in it, but it cannot be legal. Because look at him. He's crazy. And this was the only one that we actually got 2 figures of. There's the other one with the much larger flask. He's still looking crazy, but keeping it positive with thumbs up. He's like this wild gremlin that looks like he'd be a lot of dangerous fun. So anyways, I love that guy. He's so great. I'm so happy that he gets to be up here on the top row. We've counted down from number 19 to number 2, and some of you may have deduced the last Skylander standing. My number 1 favorite Skylander figure from our recent thrift store bin haul is Thumpback. Thumpback the Whale. Check him out. Now he's part of the Giant series, so he's a little bit larger scale than most, which allows the figure to have a lot more detail. You can see all the texture in the skin, and he's got the different kinds of plastics, including the transparent purple in his arms. He's got the chain motif. He's got the chain attached to his anchor weapon, and then he's also got chains holding on his armor on the back, which includes the little water symbol. And he's got his belt with the captain's wheel on it. He's got teeth. He's got different colored and textured mouth plastics. Got the blowhole, more details on his head, and but in addition to all the details and just the overall amazingness of the figure and the work that went into it, the character just has so much personality. Look at him. I mean, like I keep saying, I've never seen these characters animated, but I almost don't need to. I can fill in the blanks, and this guy's just so fun. So much fun. So anyways, yes, the king of Dust Euphoria Skylands is Thumpback the Whale. Let's set him up on his number 1 pedestal where he belongs. And we will actually crown him and make it official. There we go. I'll present to you Mr. Skylands. Okay, that does it for the rankings. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I really do love all of these figures. I can't imagine parting with them. And I'll certainly be keeping an eye out in the bins and at other thrift stores or whatever used toy stores, and maybe try to add to my collection. Who knows, maybe I'll eventually have all 167. Thanks so much for tuning in, and do let me know what you think of the rankings in the comments. If you're a big Skylanders fan, be sure to let me know how wrong I got the list in terms of gameplay. And if you're not, let me know if you would have done the list any differently. I'll wrap things up with a little drone shot of all the figures on their pedestals. Be sure to stay tuned. In addition to more haul videos, we're going to be trying to do more of these sort of thrift store theater videos, and that includes on our social media platforms on TikTok and Instagram. It's so much fun, and we're building up a lot of like set materials to do these sort of vignettes or these little scenes and stuff. And so we hope to do quite a bit of that moving forward. Thanks again. If you like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff I'm supposed to say, and we'll see you next time around.